which is very peculiar. So he's not really that strong in the lane at all.
He really needs level 2, and I would almost go as far as say King Swell, Stroke of Fate, Tim's.
Speaking of level 3s, that's the same thing on top lane. That's what you need. You need that level 2 Iron Shell. Try to pull the... Doesn't work sadly that way anymore. That should be the level 3. Plus you're controlling the rune. This is... It looked kinda bad for TNC, but it
That's
ended...
a good spot.
Yeah, it ended in such a good way. He gets his bottle refilled as well. Perfect.
Yeah, he's already got a bottle to work with. That's really... You couldn't ask for much more.
Probably. I've seen the null talisman builds as well on offlane Darkseer, but I just love the bottle so much more when you don't have a mid that buys a bottle, and that's Medusa. Now you can refill it on the mid lane. Also Nyx Assassin will be constantly TPing, refilling it, going for the bounty rune as well, refilling it. It's so high value.
Feels like one of those rare occurrences where both mids don't build a bottle.
Yep. Don't really see that very often, especially not right now with all the runes and whatnot.
A Spirits mid, you see Puck mid, you know, TA, or low TA doesn't normally get a bottle. Gabby on the run. Well, right clicks coming through that Firestorm, doing a decent amount of damage. Hishki trying to leap in and get the kill onto the Ursa, but not successful.
Oh, look at it go!
It doesn't feel like, okay.
He's gonna die here. Then back over bottom, Cask was thrown. Boomy taking a lot of damage again from that Firestorm, and the right clicks coming in from the Underlord. Gabby thinking about chasing this. Malice comes down, and that locks him up for an arrow. He's gotten it too far.
Yeah, they're being overly aggressive on this bottom lane where they don't really have the tools to kill on anyone. The Cask is nice, but you don't have Maledict. Without Maledict, kinda difficult to take down even the Mirana.
The prize is mine.
True. He lands. So Armel now going to jump on it. Swirls there. Armel trying to survive, but there's no chance for him. Tim's just a little bit too late. He looks to stun Sanctity, but doesn't land.
Yeah, Lilgun is definitely starting this game so well. TNC. Black was right so far.
Yeah. Even
though he didn't do it on purpose and production was trolling him.
It's how you win.
It's looking good. But this AM matchup is pretty solid for him mid. I'm not sure, at least before it was. Maybe something has changed. So far Medusa is slightly up ahead. You can right click him, right? Like you just stand, keep your distance, but you can't use the serpent. Well, at least not on him. It doesn't, like later on when she has the shard and you counterspell, it doesn't freeze her, right? It doesn't stun her. Pretty sure it doesn't.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
I want to say it would if he had axe.
'Tis mine.
But I don't believe it does without it. Swell looking for the kill and the darks here.
Every single
Just
lane,
again.
every single lane for TNC right now is falling apart, and I'm more and more interested in the game as, you know, when you have the underdogs, you're kind of expecting TNC to just be dominating, but they did not start this game well. So far, at least TNC, that is. They'll actually have a hard way to recover, already 1k behind, 5 minutes in. A lot of stacks on the top lane as well, but I'm not sure you want to be stacking versus a Darkseer Ace. It can be
problematic.
Yeah, it can be an issue.
Figure out if this is enough of a lead for Lilgun. They've certainly started quite well, and you know it does come. Maybe the lack of faith in Lilgun comes from the fact that Boomy here. And now they'll end up losing Marvel. That's at least a trade. Hishki.
Get this kill,
damage into the tower. Oh, Gabby! He died second.
Yeah, he died second, so Hishki is completely fine with this.
Yeah.
He's happy. He got the experience, he got the earned charges as well. I feel like maybe if it was a little bit faster, maybe he didn't even have to die, but this is perfect for him too, because he dies afterwards. He's full mana, full HP, gets the TP wherever he wants to.
So I was gonna say, obviously, you know, a lot of our mindset is this is TNC. They're 4-1. They're top of the table right now against a team that's only won one game, and that was against Smart Omega, who's also towards.
So
the expectations of Lilgun, you know, we've kind of seen them throughout the season. But I think like most Dota fans, we're also hoping as Tim's is gonna drop here, that the underdog prevails.
Top tower is under attack.
everyone likes to see a good underdog story.
Yeah.
So far, they're fighting. They actually stole a couple of. Should have a lead, right? He has one charge.
Now they've got the cask. That'll bounce over to some creeps, only bouncing twice and, well, only hitting Marvel once.
Yeah, they might dive this. Arrow is up in 1 second.
All you need is a pin.
Well, sadly misses.
Shot just gets him out of the way, and now they're under the tower. The Maledict. Gabby, he's in a lot of trouble as the focus comes out on him, but the Maledict starting to bring Marvel down, and it will be helps Gabby get that kill, and now Ishki's under the tower. He's trying to leap away.
Dire's top tower is
One
under
shot.
attack.
Arrow doesn't connect. He had the right idea, but now he just ends up dead.
Yeah, if he didn't fire that arrow, if he just TP'd out, he'd be fine. But
Radiant's
he
top
greeded
tower
out a
is
little
under
bit, tried
attack.
to get the Ursa.
He tried to get that snipe. That's a highlight clip moment, man. You hit that.
100%, yeah.
is
And
under
actually,
attack.
that arrow is level 3, by the way, which isn't something that you see. Well,
Vacuum, and then the TP goes and gets immediately stopped. That's actually pretty bad for Ace.
I'm used to seeing level 2 arrow, but level 3 as well. Okay, sure, fine. There was a patch in which you would actually max it out every single time. But I thought
Dire's
that
top
everyone
tower
kind of
is
moved
under
away
attack.
from that into the level
Dire's
2 arrow.
structures are fortified.
You just leave it there. Okay. So far he's been doing alright with it, dealing a lot of damage. It scales nicely.
The prize is mine.
That blind arrow.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That's the kind of arrow snipe where you kill Gabby. It goes in with Maledict could have malice. Cask bounces back. Arrow comes in. That lands under the Witch Doctor. Not sure that's going to help Marvel though. And Tim's is coming over. He's actually level 6.
He's
Marvel
has
into the
Einstein.
trees, and yeah, there's the Maledict that gets the kill.
It's just boomy, you know. Thank you. I guess I'll take that kill.
And now they spot that Ace is here. They land some damage.
Yeah, that's the Nyx Assassin plus Darkseer. That right there is the reason why Nyx Darkseer is such a
Dire's
strong
top tower
combination.
is under
Because
attack.
it scales in every part of the game. Like early on in the laning stage, you're strong together because Nyx can tank up a lot. Plus he gets that Iron Shell that mitigates his problems of not having damage. Later on, you can use this Vendetta to scout out and kill off people with Iron Shell damage. And later on, you have Vacuum to impale the wall. So these two heroes are like. Did you see the clip of a wolf and a badger working together to hunt? This is who they are. I'm not sure which one of them is the badger, but top lane.
I would say the Nyx is the badger. Because
Darkseer kind of
Darkseer
leads
is
the way.
helping you with the move.
Okay. I can see that.
And Nyx is the fangs. He's the one who pounces. He goes for the jugular. With the Vendetta, with the Iron Shell. He's doing all the work. He's the badger.
Marvel bottom lane.
Again, getting chased here by Gabby. Ishki pops the Moonlight Shadow, and, well, Gabby will just...
They can't really hit the arrow until... Is that...
yeah, he was... I
Clapping
can't
the
remember.
cymbals?
Symbols, thank
Yeah.
you. That's the word I was looking for. I stopped that sentence because I couldn't think of what the musical
Under
instrument
attack.
You're from New York, and the Slav is helping you with your words. Bruh.
They're going for the Medusa. They're actually diving this tower. Mana Blue gets the kill on the RML, all while Marvel gets chased in the bottom lane.
Well,
Dire's
it
top tower
happens.
is under attack.
Sanctity
Radiant's
gives him a
bottom
chuckle.
tower is under
It
attack.
happens, it happens. Vacuum wall not really very efficient if you don't connect on anyone. Usually you need to hit a couple of heroes.
Yeah, otherwise it's just a wall that you can walk through, and Gabby trying to X1, 2, 3. He's starting to move around the map, and he's got this Blink Dagger very early on. That's what is allowing him to really snowball out of control. He's not fully out of control just yet, but he is equal with Gabby, which is a bit of a problem if you're TNC.
Oh, for sure, because he's, with the amount of gold that he has, he does way more than an Ursa. That's the thing, right? Like, he, with this 5k net worth and the Blink Dagger, he can invade the jungle, he can contest the stacks, and he's been doing that so far. One of the reasons why they're doing so well is the triangle contest. They would constantly go there and mess with Medusa stacks.
Flies in.
By the way, I knew the symbols only because I was in a band.
I was in band in high school, but I couldn't. I completely went.
Radiant's middle tower
Himself
is
away.
under
You see
attack.
Armel just trying to take advantage of these stacks. He's gone first item into the Yasha,
Dire's
going
bottom
Sanjin
tower
Yasha
is
to
under
start.
attack.
It's like Sanjin Yasha straight ag. Wing against He is going to cast up. Ulti comes out with the witch after they get the silence on a 2 and the mana void on a 2. Toss him up into the air right quick. Sandy You're all dead. Dead. Dead.
And Armel, maybe as well.
Gonna go for Armel too. He'll just stone gaze and be able to walk away.
Yep, what was that?
Dire's
Ulti gets
middle
out,
tower is under
Anti-Mage's
attack.
farm so far has... It's alright. It's good. Almost an armor together with power treads. Minute, what, 14? Possibly 14:30. He's going to finish it. Solid farm really
Radiant
from
are
him.
scanning.
Keeping up the Medusa that had all those stacks. Contested, but still had a lot of stacks.
Then
Getting all 3 of those kills. I mean, it's good teamwork right now from Lilgun. I figured out that Ged
Dire's
is
top
the
tower is
combination
under
of me
attack.
saying they're all gone and all dead. And, well,
Are you from
now
the South,
Boomy,
maybe?
he's going to die too. You know, I get told by my family a lot that I was adopted from Texas. Usually when my
Yeehaw!
parents are upset at me, they'll just say, you're adopted.
So, Darkseer probably is a little bit upset with his laning
Dire's
stage
middle
so
tower
far,
is under
but
attack.
he almost has that Aghanim completed anyway. And once that Ags is completed, the whole TNC lineup comes online. You will have the Nyx Assassin, the Darkseer, the Ursa. What's that last one to look?
I know, it's just the wall down. We'll see if this works. I'm wondering, alright, Sanctity, still trying to fight this illusion. Avalanche comes in, Spike Carapace tossed into the air, and that's why I was making a look.
Yeah.
Tim's is dead, and they just casually dropped the wall right on the anti-mage.
Yeah, he was making the wood face look, guys, in the chat, if you don't know. So,
Abby going back in for X1, 2, 3, tosses him back to neutral camp. We got
Radiant's top
cast
tower is
Maledict
under attack.
and Avalanche on a 3.
so
The Maledict, he's not making it down the
if AM didn't have Blink there and you just fall him, it actually hurts him because you take a lot of his mana.
Right.
And that's why
Radiant's top
Darkseer is
tower is
considered
under
to be
attack.
countered by AM in the lane,
He's mine.
but later on in the game he's actually pretty strong versus him.
They want to go for Sanctity, and Gabby's got a defusal. Cask actually goes back towards the side of TNC. A quick counter spell from Sanctity, but that uses the rest of his mana. So they get the kill onto this anti-mage, which, you know, happens as he finishes the Battle Fury.
So it's kind of good for him. He at least finished it.
This has been a really back and forth game. Like, there's 26 kills in 15 minutes. Like,
And
both teams playing aggressive.
And mostly because Lilgun really played well in the laning stage and TNC kind of didn't maybe have a good breakfast.
Radiant's middle
didn't show
tower
up in
is
the
under
lanes
attack.
a little well at least. But right now they're ready to fight.
Radiant
Even with
structures
without the
are
Aghanims and Darks here, Gabby itemized into this defusal.
Dire's bottom
Very important that he
tower
did
is
that
under attack.
because you needed a playmaker. Gabby, however, is gonna get jumped on.
Radiant's
Breakfast.
middle tower is
there,
under
like,
attack.
Breakfast that gets in the
Radiant's
zone.
middle tower has fallen.
I actually like having that.
Marvel. The Malice down. Arrow comes out. The Avalanche toss. Soulbond Phantom's Embrace. That silences up Pulse and Medusa as well as this Ursa.
Just no breakfast, some protein shake,
Ready to
coffee.
go.
ready to go, yeah.
X123's only been stopped once.
Radiant's
on the
bottom
Echo Saber
tower is
Shadow
under
Blade.
attack.
And they're in the Roche. This is the biggest split in differences in terms of net worth. We'll see if it doesn't look like Lilgun.
They can, right? You actually cannot fight them anymore.
Just took a massive hit, and that would be Tiny jumping in Apple.
So difficult. The Aghanim's completed on Darks here. Your position 1 Ursa is super ready to fight.
Radiant
Fixed Assassin might be around in Vendetta.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Ursa diving in.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Look over, trying to get the kill on the Tiny. Wall down, that'll slow him up. They've also got Marvel hit by that walling swell. X123 trying to run. Gabby moving over, focusing his attention onto Marvel. But under the tier 2 tower, he'll just hit his symbols and try and walk away.
Decent disengage from Lilgun. Actually managed to live. For them, right now, the name of the game is just delay and split push. Try and get your anti-mage online because he's truly not the hero.
Dire's middle
Medusa
tower
at the
has
moment
fallen.
can at least do a little bit of damage, join the fight. The Stone Gaze is nice. She itemized actually in a way that she's able to fight at the moment. No matter how you itemize, you can.
Teta and the stun takes out X123. Threw an avalanche back at Tim's.
Arrow.
And ooh, almost connected.
Radiant's
Doesn't
turret.
matter, right?
Then vacuum back Marvel, right click down by Gabby. Pit him out isn't going to be enough control to get away from this one. It's hard to run when you're getting hit by the diffuser, when you're back. Ooh, Earthshock into the arrow. And well, that's the Aegis gone.
Yeah. Yushki, so far, the overperformer on Lilgun.
Thank you.
He's been up and down this game.
Yeah. Leaping around.
Up in the air, down, back to the ground. 3 times. Another shelf for both teams. Who carries that side? And now you've got the very balanced plus 35% Mystic Snake mana gain on this Medusa.
So balanced. Nothing wrong with that.
With how close these heroes fight to each other on
Dire's top
Lilgun,
tower is under
I
attack.
almost want to put chat, you can be involved in this question. Over, under 3.5 heroes getting hit by 1 Mystic Snake on a vacuum.
Dire's top tower is under
Vacuum
attack.
back, and the kill on X123. Arrow lands on the Gabby once more.
Are fortified.
Swell, we're going to try and control him up.
Dire's
Maybe get
top
this
tower
kill.
is under attack.
Validek, Defusal, ult coming in from Boomy, Marvel. He
That
bit off
was,
more than he can chew.
yeah, that Dark Rift was very optimistic right there. They need to find a way to start things off first. This Tiny has been
Dire's
the one
top
jumped
tower
on and
is under
eliminated
attack.
for a couple of times in a row now. And he's your playmaker, really. He did play in the safe lane, but he's the playmaker. And
Radiant's bottom
can't allow
tower
him to
is
die
under
first.
attack. Dire's top tower
Swell
is
again,
under attack.
does land on the Tims, but now they go the other way. Ooh, arrow again. Gabby still, Soulbind, Anti-Mage, double mana void, actually kills Boomy, who wasn't even sold out.
That's an abomination.
Collateral damage.
This wasn't even meant for me. That's, you know, 5 position. How did I die?
That right there is why always me. Like, what
Yeah.
did I do in this world to deserve this kind of suffering? Like, what happened?
Who did I hurt?
That was a lot of damage. Obviously, if Dark's here, he is always gonna have so much mana to work with. So, down, use that mana void on him. It will hurt. They devoted this very pesky observer that was planted in the dire jungle. And after that, perhaps the smoke is... Yeah, you need to make a move. So far, they've been just receiving the pain.
Go after the Medusa, who's already at mana, and well, all by himself, can't really do anything. They've got the wall down, that's onto the anti-mage, who's stunned, so they're trying to drain all his mana. Sanctity able to blink away, throw out that dust, but landed on more than a hero or two. Marvel on the run. Inbound's not enough. Gabby gets the kill on a Marvel, but while X123 comes back on a Boomy and gets the kill on the Witch Doctor, Gabby's still moving in, trying to right click here. He's got the Iron Shell. He's slowed up. Mana Void. Gabby onto the high ground. Right click. Swing forward. Sectony now out of mana.
Magic
It's not
is
gonna
an
matter.
abomination.
This is a huge win for Lilgun.
More. Avalanche tossing the arrow. Oh yeah, you're dead too.
He should be the one that gets away. But he's able to get away like this only because Mirana still doesn't have Yules. Once the Yules is there, you'll have a way of dispelling the Surge. You'll be able to catch him as well. But really well played by Lilgun. They smoke up after destroying the ward. They catch off Medusa completely off guard. The Phantom's Embrace obviously preventing her from using Stone Gaze. Anti-Mage burns her mana. Everything that they did was very solid in this fight. Gabby also feeling himself a little bit too much, you know, goes a little bit deeper for that Grimstroke kill. You get the kill, but you die. Is it worth it? Probably not.
Had he gotten one more, maybe, but Spirit Vessel, Mana Void, trying to run, and eventually the ticks are too much. See a little reaction here. Let's go.
Yeah, they're definitely doing more than we expected from Lilgun versus TNC.
Yeah.
I just love underdogs. I've been that in Dota my whole competitive career, so love to see them doing well. Grimstroke actually has a
Dire's
force
middle
pass now,
tower
so the game
is under
becomes a
attack.
little bit easier.
Gabby goes into the end range. We'll hit the Soulbond on a Gabby, but coming forward is Tim's Vendetta as well as the stun. Cast bouncing around, stroke of fate, slows up knock as well as Tim able to get the kill on the Marvel. Gabby thinking about going in, and now the aim is being slow. Gabby rolls the stun land, Section's here, and with the Mana Void blown up top, you turn to Stone Sanctity, you will not survive.
I am not
That looked so good again for Lilgun. But Aghanims coming in clutch
Dire's
for
bottom
Armel.
tower
It was pretty
is
much
under
just
attack.
that.
Dire's bottom tower is falling.
Tim's will get another kill. Cast bouncing around multiple times on these heroes. X123. He TP's out. And Embrace goes back to the Grimstroke, so they got an idea of where Ace
Radiant are
is.
scanning.
They'll spot him.
He has a port.
Doesn't get across the river.
He needed to go to the left, perhaps, and he'd get out. They're not really the fastest Witch Doctor and Medusa. I think he could have escaped just by running, not trying to transverse the cliff with the force. But still, that's a solid fight for Lilgun. Once again, the kill of Yrsa. Sadly, the Anti-Mage dies, the Medusa gets killed. But they're keeping it very, very competitive. The only problem that I see for Lilgun is this Underlord is suffering quite a bit. He's not able to contribute a lot to team fights.
Halberd Hood, not really
Halberd
much.
Hood, it's good versus Medusa and Ursa. Halberd is amazing here, but as an Underlord, usually what you want to be is that power lead that's sitting up front, cannot die, protecting the teammates.
Instead, he is dying. Tim's comes over every time. Vendetta stun, locking him down and getting the kill.
Just a very difficult game for him. Another smoke coming up across 23 from Lilgun. Yep. Once again. 6 sentries on Ace. This guy is having none of this Nyx Assassin's shenanigans.
Underdogs are coming across. D-Ward the Observer, just showing
Tower
the
are scanning.
stroke. I don't think they're going to be able to do anything with this smoke though, unfortunately.
And they also showed themselves right with spell usage on the mid lane, so...
I think coming through the jungle, they just realized we're not running it.
Yeah, but these two teams should probably mirror each other. TNC pushing out top, while the same on the bottom lane for Lilgun. The only problem is TNC right now is in a better position because Roche might be spawned, and you don't know when if you're Lilgun, and because of that you might have to be forced to
is under attack.
move over, smoke again perhaps, but they have no smokes on them. So this is actually a very dangerous thing that they're doing.
Radiant's
and it's
bottom
probably
tower
not right.
is under
It's
attack.
not the right thing because they don't know if
Radiant
Roche is up or
structures are
not.
fortified.
Doing something like this can cost you Aegis and Cheese.
And Shard.
And Shard.
Which is big for the Medusa.
They're
Dire's
just very
top
lucky
tower is
that
under attack.
Roche hasn't spawned.
Radiant's bottom
It's on a
tower
little
is
bit
under
of a
attack.
longer respawn timer.
Yeah. You ever, so that, you know, you are a fan of the underdog. Lilgun are the underdog. Did you ever watch the
Just any
cartoon
dogs, really, I have.
Underdog?
Radiant's bottom tower
Maybe
is
I
under
don't
attack.
know it by
Radiant's
that
bottom
name.
tower has fallen.
If it was
Cartoon in the
Dire's
60s.
middle tower is under
Dubs,
attack.
translated in my own language. What's it about? About a dog?
Superhero dog. He was always,
okay, I
you know,
didn't see
nobody
that.
ever thought he was a good enough superhero, so he was the underdog, and he would always
Radiant's
win.
The
bottom
only
tower is under
show I
attack.
remember about dog is What a
Dire's
Mess.
middle tower is under attack.
What a mess.
Are linked.
Boomer stuff.
So Lilgun come around, they the underdog form, and the underdogs are here. They're gonna go. And he gets killed off first, and Roche is up. So we'll see how Lilgun want to play this. Now knowing that there's no cast, there's no ult from the Witch Doctor.
And the problem for them is they have no solar.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
And they don't take Roche nearly as fast as TNC. So I think TNC can definitely defend this.
Gonna get by Tits, who misses the stun. And Mouse goes through, toss, and well, that's tossing Ace who is dead. Not really fair to Ace, because he doesn't get an opportunity to maneuver and try to survive. That Dark Rift's ambitious.
Okay, this should be Gabby just moving into the pit. Have to be a bit careful because he does not have a BKB, so instead. They just want to deward. Some of these clips right now are really weird when it comes to dewarding
Radiant's middle
as a
tower
melee
is
hero.
under attack.
Not sure what's up with that. Sometimes you can hit, sometimes you can't.
So Lilgun splits off Roche and just gonna concede it, which I think is devastating.
You can't contest it anymore, right?
No.
You just lost this fight.
But again, it comes down to, do you risk giving up the
Radiant's
fight,
middle tower is under
jumping
attack.
in, avalanche toss, steal something?
If you have a toss, you steal something, it's kind of good for you. If you don't steal anything, game is over pretty much. You just lost your playmaker.
Is the game more over in that scenario or here now that they've got Shard Aegis cheat?
I think you can still defend the high ground with Underlord.
Dire's middle
The
tower
hero
is
definitely
under attack.
died too many times. Marvel is not having a good game, but that's when he's not on his high ground. When you're on your high ground, bit of malice,
Dire's
harder to
middle
deal.
tower has fallen.
He's been
Radiant's
spotted,
bottom
one more
tower
leap
is under
available,
attack.
and he's already away from Gabby anyway with that Yules.
Gabby has a gem, so you actually have to be spellbound. Base.
I'm
I'm not sure why he did this.
Poor step on the high ground, decent move
Radiant's
there.
bottom tower is under
Gets out.
attack.
AM is splitting bottom, that's what's up.
Radiant's bottom tower
They're preventing them
has
from
fallen.
defending. The tower actually fell. That's actually a pretty good play. Unless they fight now.
They're going to try and fight, or well, I think TNC's taking the fight to them. Yules, Dark Rift once again from Marvel, and this is with Sanctity just jumping in onto the Witch Doctor bottom. He's the only one here to defend while he's trying to get these racks,
taking
and
racks?
Witch Doctor can't do anything about it by himself. So, well, melee racks are gone. Lilgun, they're playing distraction.
But I have not seen this in actually such a long time.
Regeneration.
And I got caught off by it, like, caught off guard, because usually you see teams actually defending versus any sort of split pushes. Since TI3, I don't even know. People have learned how to deal with AM split pushing, and just when you have Aegis and Cheese, you send one hero that can outpush the wave, you then connect around the triangle, you go on the high ground, but yeah, AM just got a free side. The only hero they lost was with the Mirana, right?
Yeah.
Perfect for Lilgun. Just perfect.
They're doing something. They're not, you know, lying over and letting themselves get walked on.
The craziest thing is you have Nyx Assassin. He's one of the best heroes to prevent this from happening. Because he stays back, there's a Battle Fury on AM, you Carapace catch him, and then another hero TPs and you kill him off. An anti-mage should not be allowed to
Dire's bottom
do
tower
this
is
in
under
game
attack.
versus Nyx.
Somehow getting a melee racks, and now
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
did for a while. Moonlight Shadow. Bach. And on Shell on, they've got the dust. Four steps.
Ace? Just playing with that force.
Radiant's middle tower is under
They're not
attack.
ready for the force staff. Marvel
Marvel?
going down to Armel. He gets his TP stopped by Vacuum.
Sir?
Radiant's top
Not sure
tower
if you
has
realize
fallen.
that TP
That's the wrong neighborhood.
there was never going to happen. Dagger for Rana. Okay.
It's the blink Yules. That's usually what you want. When you get Yules is great, blink Yules is even better because you blink in as a target, leap out and set up the arrow for yourself. And you get a lot of mobility over it. It's actually a really good item. I still wouldn't mind seeing a Solar Crest on them, but it's good too.
Yeah, so they could take Roche. Potentially. I mean, if this goes third Roche, you have an opportunity. You know, you don't have to dance around the pit and, you know, you're not forced to fight and get 3-4 kills to give you the time to go for Roche. You can get one pick off and then
I
snap
still
and Roche.
don't blame him. I think Yules is the perfect item this game. That's exactly what you... Versus Ursa, it's amazing. Versus Darkseer, it's amazing.
Anti-Mage now doing it top.
Okay, all I
And his
want
courier at the secret shop. Ooh.
all I want to see is Nyx Assassin preventing this. Does Ursa have a basher or is building towards it? He has a basher. So Nyx Assassin defends it, and then you TP in with the Ursa, follow up with a couple of bashes. You can take down the AM. Problem is the butterfly, right?
Bold and
Miss a
sweet.
couple of times, you probably will not get the kill.
For this split pushing, Sanctity's gone into the shard.
Dire's middle
Has
tower
that bigger
is under
range
attack.
and that lower cooldown, making it a little bit easier to move around and keep himself safe.
It's a good shard. It's a good shard in this circumstance, definitely. Aegis has been reclaimed. And this game is way closer than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
Lilgun did have the tools to take it this long, and they definitely did utilize those tools properly. I expected more from TNC.
Shadows.
Sometimes I find that teams play to their opponent, skill-wise. And I'm not saying that Lilgun is, you know, this low-skill team or anything like that, but when you think that you're, you know, I'm at the top of the table, they're at the bottom of the table, sometimes you play down. It happens in all sports, I think.
Yep, for sure, 100%. You take it a little bit more relaxed.
Radiant
You perhaps
are
don't
scanning.
prepare as much when it comes to what draft you're going to have.
Yeah.
Take it, especially if you're winning all the time. And win doesn't mean as much as it usually would. But
Are waiting.
it's a really good position from Lilgun.
All right there, waiting for their prey.
But this smoke and this courier should... Yeah, it's revealed, and this is dangerous now.
Yeah, they're giving him away now. They're going to the Dark Rip down. Sequel commits the Dark Rip. They already got the kill on an Ace, so all the materials are now gone.
Yeah, they have to. You have to get out, because the only way you fight is you reach the backlines before Ursa jumps you. But the moment that courier flew over,
You gave it away.
you gave your position away. Ursa just goes in, goes ham, jumps in. You lose the Grimstroke in a matter of a split second. You can't fight after.
Where you have to throw your courier. Sanctity at the top, and yeah, Sanctity, he's making pop with blink away.
And the blink from Tims isn't really on point. The arrow is. And this is the combination that I expected previously. The Nyx plus Ursa catching off the AM.
They back off. They've got Grimstroke in 2 seconds.
Anti-Mage already on top lane, trying to split it. While TNC... Where's the MKB? So MKB is done on Armel.
Allies
Gabby,
disappear.
he's actually quite far from it.
Line Shadow and looking to fight again. Lilgun,
Dire's middle
no matter how
tower
far
is under
behind they
attack.
are, they're always looking to take a fight.
They were never truly...
Avalanche toss coming in, arrow, and Tims is dead.
Armel?
Stone Gaze.
Okay, he doesn't really have vision. He doesn't know if they will jump him or not. He's also afraid of Phantom's Embrace. Spell stack. It's under... It looked kind of funny from our perspective, right? Because we see everything, but... He was a scared little snack.
spot. He's down in the corner. He's Grim Ward. But unfortunately, that Grim Ward gets dewarded, and we'll get Fnatic back into the wall. That's through on the 3. Zeros are getting low. They walk back on the Grim Show. They get the come again. Lateral comes in, and Armel is dead. 4 Euros gone on TNC. It looked like it was going right here for them, but now everything falls apart, and it all falls down.
Cancel that Uber, we're staying. We're down to party some more. Pour us another one. That was just fantastic from Lilgun. Sanctity. From Lilgun, two players are my MVP so far. It's the AM and the Grimstroke. Grimstroke has been living through so many of these jumps from Ursa. Soul binds are perfect, finding the right heroes, baiting perfectly.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, this isn't gonna happen. They have buybacks.
But they want to force it. I respect that.
Now go for the Raxes.
Now you've given yourself a massive win condition.
Radiant's
They
middle
defend
tower
only with the
has
Medusa.
fallen.
The problem here is the toss.
Radiant's middle
Actually have to be very careful.
Oh, there it is. Now we're gonna go. Stone Gaze silencing, so all pops on Armel. There's a brace, goes back to Ace, but he's dead again. And now X1, 2, 3. The BKB doesn't last long enough, and he ends up dead.
I was just praising him, but Phantom's Embrace in this situation could have saved the game, or maybe even win it for Lilgun, if he manages to use it on Armel before he Stone Gazes. So that was unfortunate for Lilgun, but still, forcing the buyback from Medusa, you're feeling great at the moment.
A team that has not taken a Roche, a team that...
And they want another one.
Yeah. And now they're gonna... Oh, they've got the creeps right here.
They've got the scan as well, but it's too late.
Radiant's bottom barracks
They're
are
just
under
gonna take a
attack.
rack instead. Sanctity, man.
To the Radiant.
Mirana?
Radiant's middle barracks.
Playing that game.
Okay, yeah, Mirana jumped in, tried to steal something, and I can't blame him because in this patch there's just so much stuff dropping from Roche. You kind of take your time figuring out who's gonna pick up what.
It's like a huddle. You have to really... Okay, so you have 2 slots open, you have 1 slot open. You don't need to keep a slot open. I'm gonna pick this up. Like
Roshan feels like when you're playing hack and slash games, you know, the only thing the team needs to drop now is bag of golds everywhere, and you have to run around, click on them to pick everything up.
I think if you slay Roche, it should just play and then like the game stops and you have to figure out who goes what. Sanctity's actually out of mana. For now.
They just need the MKB and Ursa as well. They're pressuring the high ground. They have Aegis. I feel like this is some desperate move. They need to find the pickup properly first.
I'm really hoping for a base race.
So one big thing that TNC actually have in favor for them is this tier 2 on the top lane. This tier 2 on the top lane is keeping their hopes alive. If they didn't have the tier 2, the AM would just be creep skipping and destroying the base, right?
He's coming in a second.
Radiant's bottom
and
barracks
he'll take
are
the
under
ranged
Radiant's
ones, but
bottom
you're
barracks.
fine. You understand that he's gonna take the ranged anyway. If he goes for the throne, however, that might be a problem.
Courier flying back. Right now, he's just like, all right, you guys created some really bad statues. I'll take care of those. Soulbind comes out. Now they've got 1 tier 4. Sanctity, he's here unchecked at the moment. He TP's back. So this is going to be a fight that's 4v4. They've got the avalanche of the toss coming through. The wall is down. That's not going to do that much. The BKB's being popped in the back. X1, 2, 3. He's on the cliff. Dark Rim. Oh, it's an Uber not in time to keep alive the Tiny, but they've got themselves the Abyssal. That's through onto this Darkseer. Will get saved for the moment.
Armel, Kishki, and Mirana is out.
They got 1 tier 4. I mean,
look. Why did this happen the way it did? They TP'd Ursa and Nyx Assassin back, like we talked about earlier, to try and catch AM. But they didn't. They actually messed it up. AM has a gem, and because of this gem, it's very difficult for Nyx Assassin to use the Impale properly. James, you see this?
Ninja gear?
Yeah,
Yeah, he sees him.
He sees him. This gem is so valuable for him, it's insane. Okay?
With all these heroes back, it's making this push so much harder for TNC.
Exactly. That's why they couldn't push before, because these heroes went down to defend.
I think they've done this right by keeping Gabby and Armel here instead of taking Gabby back down.
Look, it's right, but it's also extremely dangerous.
Dire's top barracks.
They will get the racks.
With Soulbind now, let's say, and the anti-mage rotating
Dire's
in,
top barracks has
they will
fallen.
not defend because they don't have Tiny. They don't want to risk it. Understandable.
Yeah, realistically, with him posturing forward, he knows there's nothing to toss me into the base.
Exactly.
And I'm going to take maybe a 500 IQ attempt or a 2 IQ
A
attempt at
5-head
saying,
play?
yeah, I'm going to say something potentially stupid. So we saw Anti-Mage going for the statues and everything. And there's probably people in chat, maybe myself included if I was just watching, saying, why are you doing that? But now the creeps only have one target. That's the tower, right? So they won't stop going through bottom.
Yeah.
And they'll just go for the towers instead. So you are getting that chip. Armel, a little low. This Aegis looks like it's going to go out. And now the Anti-Mage with that spike carapace for a second. And it's well tossed right up the Grim Stroke. Vacuum into a wall. And now the Avalanche play. The Soulbind. It's on Armel, it's onto the Darkseer. Do they have the damage to get the kill on the Medusa? Oh, Stone Gaze running back. Mana Void. Oh, blows up top. Kirby's dead too. Kirby's been popped. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Aeon Disc is going to be brought here on Tims, and they look over at Armel. They get the kill on the Medusa. Dead for 2 minutes.
Perfect from Lilgun, because what happened again? Ursa was in the base. He was defending. You can't do these things. Because if you TP back, Anti-Mage just TPs back to his base, and he actually has a numerical advantage in a team fight. So, perfect from Lilgun. The vacuum wall was nice, but it wasn't nice enough because he didn't catch AM, so he didn't have his illusion. His illusion is the most valuable one.
Dark Portrait.
This is...
Stroke's got Ags. It's dangerous.
This defense now, I don't know how they do it. They have cheese, but no buyback on Ursa. I think this is game.
It might be. They're going to go for the tier 4. Gabby going to jump. Avalanche toss coming through out of mana. Gabby. They've got the vacuum onto 3. As Sanctity was able to blink away, but Gabby, he scores back. Soulbind was leashing him for just a moment. They're going to go and glyph. Do Lilgun go back? Do they try to get a tier 2 up top and go for Mega Creeps? No, the answer, they're going to go for the tier 4s. They're going to go for the throne. They're going to try and win this game. They will win this game. They will upset TNC in game number 1. Lilgun, you know, when you get to play the role of just Dream Killer, it's always a fun role to play.
Roshan, it's a tough matchup. I want to talk to you, Black, about the itemization on both carries. Do you feel like anything was lackluster?
Yeah, I think the Agon Scepter on Medusa was pretty unnecessary this game. You already got Nyx to set up, you got a good team fighter in Darkseer, and just want to limit your mana pool as much as possible against this anti-mage. There was also this one crucial mistake. Is it this fight where Medusa just doesn't use cheese?
Yeah, it doesn't pop. I don't think it would matter that much.
I actually want to see
because she was left alone. Like, she had enough time.
I mean, there's still 4 heroes alive right now. And then the Ursa dies because of the... is it this fight?
It's that fight.
It is this fight.
So 3 heroes
How much
already
would it
dead.
have mattered?
Nah, I don't think so.
Hard to say, hard to say.
They don't have enough damage. She would be
well,
isolated.
The thing is, they would have refilled her mana also, and the mana void would have done less damage.
Yeah, but Ursa had like 200 health.
Oh, okay.
So he would have died regardless. Just the question is, can Dusa then fight and win the fight or not? And of course, they're really happy. I mean, they're really happy when they're losing already.
Yeah,
imagine when they're winning.
They were smiling the entire time.
But yeah, like as itemization on Dusa, you want to go as little mana as possible, as much damage as possible. Butterfly was
Mana
good.
Void doesn't do any AoE damage.
But instead of this Aghanims, he could have had a Satanic already, which at the very end he did have. But when you have AM against Dusa, you have like this really strong timing where you just go high ground and AM can't really fight you.
Second Roche is
Kind
the
of missed
timing
that here.
pretty much with Medusa to go and try to siege the high ground. Look at them happy. I'm just so happy for them as well. You know, even though they're already relegated to the lower division after their 0-5 performance so far, they're showing up. We're gonna have a series here. Maybe they cannot win, they cannot stay in the upper division, but they can mess up some of the plans.
I gotta say though, like the TNC draft was, they kind of handed it to them a little bit. Made it a bit easy for them to draft, and usually we see Lilgun that they're outdrafted, but when they're on even footing with drafts, apparently they...
But you're only saying that because of the anti-mage. Otherwise, like Darkseer, Medusa, Ursa, you liked the Witch Doctor also. These are all strong heroes for TNC.
I did not like the Ursa too much last pick, simply because Ursa as well as Dusa, like, who's gonna stun people for you? Which is in the end was the problem.
Yeah.
The aim is just jumping around,
It's pretty much just
in,
Next
out,
Assassin.
exactly. Maybe itemization can help, and Darkseer just goes for like an earlier hex or something, which we didn't really see. And it was a tough draft to execute for TNC, and they didn't manage to do it, because Dota without stuns is hard. It's really hard.
That being said, I would have still taken TNC 99 times out of 100.
Yeah, of course, because it's Lilgun against TNC, right?
Yeah.
But if it's two evenly matched teams, I think almost everybody would have gone for the Lilgun draft, because it's like much easier to play.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Well, we have an MVP. Our first, well, actually, no, we've had two Lilgun MVPs, because Lilgun did win against Smart Omega one game, and now this is their second game, Ace 12 on the Grimstroke.
It's hard to really choose an MVP for me. Like, I think it's okay to give it to him. Like, they all played pretty well in their team fights. It actually is really surprising to see Lilgun play so well together, so cohesively.
Exactly.
After
I think it's a good thing that we can't choose a singular MVP, because that means that the all five-man roster was playing their part.
Yep. I'm sure it's easy to give it to AM because he was flashy, maybe to Tiny because he got a lot of kills, but really, they all played well.
Supports did their job pretty much, especially Grimstroke. He was there to use ultis on time, setting things up for that double mana void, silencing the right heroes in the team fight, outpushing the waves. So it was good stuff from him. Yeah, it's kind of hard to choose who was like the MVP, because they played well. This is the best, not because they won, but this is the best Dota they played so far.
It's also a bit questionable for me, like what is up with TNC? Like, no offense to Lilgun, we all know they are good players individually, but there's a reason they're 0-5, right? And now TNC is just... Sure, your draft is not the easiest, but you should still be stomping a team like that.
Yeah.
Especially, like, they lost all 3 lanes on TNC as well.
Yeah.
Which is something you would not expect from a
Like, bottom
skill
lane
differential.
could have been a disaster, because they had off a really good start on Lilgun, and then they decided to feed a couple of kills, dive with tower.
Go behind the tower,
Yeah, they could have just made the Ursa plus Witch Doctor lane almost unplayable at all. It was already a tough one for them.
Well, I'm hype. I'm hyped. I saw them smiling on the webcams there, and we have a series potentially. Lilgun might win potentially. One step at a time, though. I'm just happy to see more of that raccoon. Hop over to a quick break, and when we return, we will continue the series. heavenly chorus. It doesn't surprise me that Black, you're thinking of biblical references to a series like this. What does it feel like to you?
Like David versus
Goliath.
hell yeah.
Bottom of the bracket, top of the bracket.
And you
By
know, just to
far.
go a bit more deep onto that story, David, he only had a rock, and they had a tiny in that game, and
Hell
that's how
yeah.
they beat them.
Medusa turned them into rocks also? Even worse.
Gave them more weapons.
Shouldn't have gone Scepter. Would have had fewer stones to
Gave
throw.
them more
Don't
ammunition.
go Scepter, yep. How dare you, foolish.
I'm not so, like, even beyond all the praise that we gave them in the post-game analysis, they also didn't cheese, which is the only time that Lilgun won in lower division for the most part in Season 1. In their one game versus Omega, I think it was like a Broodmother game. Here,
I think they won with the Huskar there.
Huskar, that's right.
Yeah. Straight up honest Dota. That's what we like to see. That's where a team really shows its nature, you know. Sure, you can cheese here and there. Anybody can do that, but can you beat TNC with an even draft? Most teams couldn't. And now Lilgun is like, well, look at us, bro.
This is how you do it.
Yeah, like you want to learn from the bottom? Go ahead. But yeah, as I said before, like TNC made it a little bit difficult for themselves. I'm sure they're gonna just draft some more team fights, some more stuns now.
Okay.
Hopefully.
But it gets into their head.
Dude, they're sweating now.
They picked Nyx Assassin Medusa first phase against Lilgun, and they managed to lose it.
Yeah, they're definitely sweating right now. Like I want to see the webcams.
The AC better be on.
Yeah, like full blast. 5 degrees, full blast, just like in the green room.
It's going to be humid.
All right, here we go. We got a game. All right, I'm down.
This is going ham. Like Lilgun, it's like, all right, we took one game, we made you sweat, and now we pick Pudge. Like, what?
Dude, TNC's in shambles right now.
You just beat them straight up, and now, dude, there's mental warfare, man. They're like, bro.
Slow it down there, Lilgun.
All right, what do we want to see? That's probably 4 or off-lane Pudge, something, you know.
Or mid Pudge.
Mid Pudge? I don't even
Quite know where it's going.
That is true. Wait, who has the last pick? Second
Yeah,
pick, right?
Lilgun.
Lilgun has last pick,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
The absolute last pick. So they can choose where they want to put this Pudge.
True.
They
Oh,
have,
TNC's
they have
smiling.
so much advantage with this decision in the end where they're gonna put Pudge.
Radiant team ban.
But yeah, as I said before, like TNC made it a little bit difficult for themselves. I'm sure they're gonna just draft some more team fights, some more stuns now.
Okay.
Hopefully.
But it gets into their head.
Dude, they're sweating now.
10
They
seconds
picked Nyx
remaining.
Assassin Medusa first phase, the Lilgun.
TNC Predators turn to pick.
They're definitely sweating right now. Like I want to see the
Radiant
webcams.
team pick.
The AC better be on.
Yeah, like full blast.
Radiant
5
team
degrees,
pick.
full blast, just like in the green room.
Lion.
It's going to be humid in there. All right, TNC.
All right, here we go. We
Pudge.
got a game. All right, I'm down.
This is going ham. Like Lilgun, it's like, all right, we took one game, we made you sweat, and now we pick Pudge. What?
Dude, TNC's in shambles right now.
You just beat them
10
straight up, and now,
seconds remaining.
dude, there's mental warfare, man. They're like, bro.
Slow it
5
down there,
seconds
Lilgun.
remaining.
All right, what do we want to see? That's probably 4 or off-lane Pudge, something, you know.
Or mid Pudge.
Mid Pudge? I don't even know.
Mid Pudge against Tiny or something is good.
TNC
Double
Predators
bracer.
turn.
Oh, yeah.
Enchantress.
Well, TNC will also have a tendency to play even 5 positions. You don't quite know where it's going.
That is true. Wait, who has the last pick?
Yeah,
Right? Lilgun has last pick,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
The absolute last pick. So they can choose where they want to put this Pudge.
True.
They
Oh,
have,
TNC's
they have
smiling.
so much
Remaining.
advantage with this decision in the end where they're gonna put Pudge.
5 seconds remaining.
Exactly.
Radiant
Truly
team ban.
the most flexible of all picks. I can't believe that we're not seeing this here. But did you watch the short film trailer that came out yesterday?
It was Pudge, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it was
saw
Pudge,
my
Director
boy.
Pudge persona
TNC
incoming soon.
Predators
Not
turn to
surprised.
ban.
Look at him. He's very... yeah, he's an authority. Let's put it that way.
That's true. I trust him.
With what though?
My life. I'd go inside his belly. He'd force me inside his belly. Which is honestly my
10
biggest
seconds remaining.
reason why I think Pudge is viable. I think the shard is one of the best shards in the entire
5
game.
Radiant remaining.
It is.
TNC
Hero doesn't-
Predators turn to
That's
ban.
strong, so you don't see it often, but the saving potential, lowering the cooldown on
Radiant
it.
team ban.
Okay, so T-Gov yesterday,
Pick Spirit Breaker.
probably, as he is known to do, but he posted a video of showing you can tiny toss on Radiant the off-lane range creep into like next to the tier
10
3.
seconds remaining.
The barracks, like there's those trees on the left. You can tiny toss creeps in there.
5 seconds
You
remaining.
can also pudge hook creeps in there, and so you can hook the range creep and get it stuck in the trees at level 1.
Sure. I abused my strategies myself in the
I
past.
did
With
the
Earth
same.
Spirit.
No,
wanna-
Just where you like
Radiant
could
team
pull them
pick.
to the camp.
Oh, yeah.
TNC
You could pull
Predators
them.
turn.
What you could do before with Fudge. Before era, it was much easier done on a rate testing. You played like this off lane and they'll like try laning. Or couldn't lane as an off laner, so
10
you pulled
seconds
it back.
remaining.
Fudge stuck one creep in. You used to wait for it until the pushes
5 seconds remaining.
body block. Or around it.
So
All
were you
this-
doing multiple creeps or just one creep?
One creep and then the lane pushes.
I
It's
see.
like similar to Lich.
Look at this talk, all this cord patch talk. It's a cord
It's a
patch.
cord patch,
Yeah,
yeah.
hell
It's a-
yeah.
It's
Or it
off.
could be mid Grimstroke. Let's not get too hasty.
Dude, Snapfire actually owns patch.
She does.
TNC Predators
No
turn.
armor. I want to see.
Lycan again. All right, all right.
I want to see
What is
maybe
this game?
something
I mean-
like Ursa. I wouldn't mind seeing Ursa. for
Doesn't matter what you
TNC.
want to see. Apparently, they just pick whatever they want to. Cord patch. If you
10
manage to
seconds
snowball,
remaining.
get a fast Aghanim step, I think can be really strong. This Aghanim is actually good.
5
It's
seconds
good, but-
remaining.
The thing is, like, when you say core pudge, you mean mid
Like
pudge?
mid or carry.
A carry pudge is, it's not a thing because you want to kill creeps and you don't move.
I mean,
As a mid pudge, you can move as an off lane. You move around the map, but when you're playing it safe lane, you're all about, I need to get that farm. I need good axe.
sure. You can do a carry patch with like a carry mid. You want to do that, and you just kind of switch roles in the mid game. You get levels and farm up early.
But why not just put
Because most matchups are unfortunately terrible. Like, I don't even know many good patch matchups at all.
All right, hear me out.
Alright, hearing you.
Offlane Lycan, Wolf Bite, the carry Pudge. Sounds amazing.
and then he goes in with axe.
Or,
Exactly.
bro. Lion, axe, double thing. Mid lion.
I like it. I'm on board. Any
Or-
one of these heroes I'd be cool with.
Or listen to this: 5 people bottom, first blood, go back.
TNC Predators turn.
And you start with 1 flash strength.
Yeah.
You get it level 1 just to have it because
Exactly.
you see that you're gonna get
Plus
a
1
kill.
damage.
You get
Radiant team back.
You're like, why? And Armelo's like, dude, I can't lane middle, he has 1
TNC
damage.
Predators
Right, he's
turn
not
to
receiving
ban.
any damage. He
20
has
more
magic
HP.
resist.
How much? 6%?
Yeah.
This is such a bad passive. Remember when it gave 6 health reach and that was my
That was
patch?
stupid.
I
that
just
was
put
good.
mid patch any game, every game.
Yeah, it was a legit first
10
point in there. It was like
seconds
having
remaining.
Dragon's Blood. It was better than Dragon's
The
Blood.
double,
Yeah.
except no armor.
5 seconds
Who needs
remaining.
armor? It's not like you're playing
Wolves
against a
definitely don't.
Snapfire. Yeah, wolves don't need no armor.
When's Pudge gonna show up in anime? We had Dragon's Blood.
Next season probably.
Next season, probably he's gonna be there.
Radiant
He's
team
gonna be the
back.
villain though? Like, he's like an
TNC
He's
anti-hero.
definitely not a good guy.
Predators
He's an
turn.
Comic
anti-hero.
relief. He's just gonna be there.
In all seriousness though, I think TNC might have outdrafted Lilgun a little bit.
In all seriousness, you're trying to pull
Little bit.
seriousness out of a draft like this.
Like, I don't know why Lilgun's playing so seriously game 1 and they're just like, do this.
I respect that. They show
10
that they
seconds
can win the
remaining.
game. So like,
And they're
well,
like-
we don't have to play serious.
Yeah, we're letting you
in the
win
second
now.
half.
They're hiding their
seconds
power.
remaining.
We could go to TI. We could win TI if we want to. We just want you to know that. But, you know, we're just going to clown around anyway.
Make him sweat. And now TNC, like, they're super confident with this draft.
I mean, if this is a cheesy pick when you think about it, like 1-2 good hooks could make a lot of a difference.
And I guess you don't really have to hide it because you still just punch. Either you hit the hook or you don't. I like core punch though. Actually, mid punch should be pretty viable now that you have all the bottles and all the runes and stuff.
Radiant
Be able
team
to
pick.
tank through it.
Bloodseeker.
Oh my
Okay,
god, man!
let's
All the
go
heroes
mid.
are just counted though. What if they just put the troll middle?
Mid punch,
Imba spirit.
No.
Now select
carry.
your heroes.
The offlane punch.
he doesn't lane well into troll.
Yeah, it's offline pudge.
Offlane punch into a troll. Carry Lycan into a bloodseeker, and it's yeah, okay. Tiny owns. I mean, literally all of the cores are just getting.
Both of these supports by Tiny, not enough HP. I'm gonna go with Lilgun.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I was just telling Bcop that I really like the hero at the moment. Has a lot of potential. The shard is good. You get some saves. If the Eternal Shroud build as well is nice, but they played Lycan carry before, and they also got countered by a Bloodseeker. I'm not sure why they didn't get it out this time. Oh, I'm going with TNC once again.
Did that one count? Because that was production trolling.
Yeah,
him.
he was even arguing for it.
Pressing X down. Yeah. So they're gonna go from Lil Guns to Big Guns, and I'm going Lil Gun taking the 2-0. I believe in the pudge. What he would have done game
it's
one.
Done. Let's go. Give us game.
Yeah, we're
Thanks,
gonna have to
guys.
check the clip on
Thanks
that.
a
'Cause I
lot.
don't know if that first one counts. I need a ruling.
Always trying to flip flop.
You know, I know the rules of Prediction King. They were sent out to us, and
Yep. There's
I
only
think you have to say your prediction.
only 5 Prediction Kings available as well. Can't have 6. But
Yeah, production. You guys can't win Prediction King from off screen.
even though sometimes the production has probably better predictions than the actual talent itself, but
And they put him in first.
yeah, Ishki gonna break the smoke. This is something the TNC is doing in many of their games. Smoking up, going top.
Hook to level 1. 2 main Earth Spike hook on a Bach. Blood right down. That's going to get a silence on a Marvel. He's in some trouble. Looking like he'll be first blood to Armel.
Not the greatest start for your Tiny.
There.
For the Pudge, actually. For the Tiny, it's great.
30
We'll say the Earth
seconds
Spikes
to
from
go.
Dish here nice. I'm not sure he's going to live. Just gets out. Oh, the pathing. Run him into the trees for a second, and that salve didn't get canceled. Okay.
They threw everything at him. The axes, the tree
tree.
toss, everything was there. But the wind blaze, actually, that he
Dire's
started
courier
with,
has been
saving
killed.
his life.
Dire's courier has
So
been
we're still just here mid. All right,
What's
cool.
happening to their couriers?
And now blood right down again. That's going to get the silence on a Hishki.
They just lost 2 couriers instantly in the game. It's not a lot of gold, obviously. 200, actually 200 gold
Hey.
left to Lilgun.
I want to say he needs to be careful, but Boomy now getting run down. Hook onto the wolf.
What?
Oh. And now the salve of Boomies is going to get off and get him back.
Marvel
Up to
wasn't
full.
really looking what's in front of him. Usually you have to do that when you're trying to hook.
Yeah, he got focused on just, you know, getting this kill onto
Exactly.
the Enchantress, and that wolf was chasing Hishki for a lot of that fight, just putting some more
Troll.
damage on, but Gabby getting caught, and now they'll get the kill on a Gabby.
This is the actual strength of Pudge, level 1. Don't be fooled and go for this Orb of Venom Rod build or whatever. Skill hook deals so much. You still have to hook it, obviously. You still have to use it properly. But it's not that hard, really. Just practice a bit. It deals so much damage. The talent on level 15 is also extremely solid. 120 meat hook damage. It's amazing. It's pure. Pure.
Not magical, not physical. It's pure.
Pure. That's kind of. Lycan also, like, two heroes that I feel like can work in the meta under certain circumstances. It's the Lycan and the Pudge. And I feel like Lycan is definitely underpicked. And there is a chance for this hero to work with the Armlet Echo Saber build. But the problem, every time we saw him so far, he was versus hard counters like Bloodseeker. It's very difficult to play the game when you're ruptured as a Lycan. You need that movement.
Got to be careful with threes. Wolves don't get in front of his hooks, but now they've got the Scatter Blast, the Fire Snap Cookie, the damage coming in from the Blood Right. All not enough, but it does bring Axe 1, 2, 3 low. He'll salve up.
Yeah, even the lane isn't that easy.
They get the kill on the Gabby again.
The hooks are there, the Rod is there, the Impale from Lion, and they get another kill on Gabby.
So that's 2 stacks already on the Flesh Heap once he gets it.
They just need to continue blocking these scabs, preventing Boomy from actually getting any creeps. You can even kill the Enchantress, really. She's very squishy. The problem is he has no mana for
Inkswell lands on 2, but again, the Blood Right Fire Snap Cookie almost sidesteps it. Looks like Ace might die here.
Yep.
My labors live
He is
on.
gone.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
Sanctity's just mid and kind of worrying about the amount of blood that's being drawn.
Yeah, he's just griefing his own team, tilting them with the voice chat.
Could have won, but my mid tilted me with the voice line.
Top lane. Enchantress finally finds a creep. Not the greatest one, Hellbear, but something. Mid lane so far, Ember on par with the Tiny.
You get nothing.
Not really pulling ahead with
Oh, booming. All right, he's rotted down. Marvel now 3 stacks. Actually, he hasn't obviously taken Flesh Heap yet, but 2, 1, and 1. This Pudge big already.
Yeah, he's getting big. This level 2 rod is also extremely valuable. You get
Oh, no way. They're like magnets.
He's on fire.
Is this TNC or are these fish in the water? Because these hooks are hitting, and well, the fishing has been
fish in the barrel. You mean? Yeah, I'm not. I don't understand how you get hooked like that. That's
Gabby has died 3 times already.
Try not to feed. Yeah, try not to feed Gabby.
And so Pudge backs off.
Great game so far.
Takes his Tranquils, and this is leaving Hishki to get solo experience right now, which will give burst damage earlier.
Interesting that he went for Tranquils, considering he's a core. It's still good. It's very good on Pudge. Allows you to farm with Trot, then heal up with the Tranquils. Other hook. Okay, this one. I would argue this hook was 10 times easier. from someone that plays a ton of Pudge.
Oh, Sanctity.
Mid lane. Yeah, that hook, by the way, was extremely easy because you know he's going in for the deny. That's when you time it. The hooks before were just some random hooks that landed. Oh, and yeah. Okay, don't look at him. Look at him. He's priming. You can't hit every hook. It's what happens.
I'm not looking up.
You look. This is the strat. Hear me out now. You miss and you make all those hooks look so bad that they stop worrying, and then you ban. Then you hook them.
Or you just go for Boomy.
Or you just
First spike. And now the rot. Is it enough damage? The right clicks, and there it is. Marvel now dominating, going after Gabby, who's been axed.
Yeah, you don't have hook. You do have stick charges, but.
And now the Earth Spike. They have the damage. Oh, I thought they might, but Gabby still might die. One more shot. He's got him. I can't believe this.
This Lion is level 5 and a quarter, minute 5. This Lion
He's gonna throw finger after a hook, and they're just gonna get instant kills.
They're about to be done on this top lane on the side of TNC. That's it. Like, even right now, it's hard. I like the idea from Enchantress to go for Nature's Attendance, right? You get the
Dire's
attendance, you
bottom
heal up through the
tower
rot,
is under
but you
attack.
can't because rot is hitting everything around you. I've had the same situation. It hits everything around you. Because of that, you heal everything a little bit, and you don't really get the burst heal that you need.
Hishki a little low.
What a fun game on top. I don't even care about bottom. The mid lane, kinda.
Top's all that matters right now.
It's all about the hooks.
Got a Lion that's a higher level than the Pudge, but Pudge is he's gonna get so many stacks just right up on Flesh Heap, and I'm so worried about how tanky this Pudge is gonna become. How strong he'll be.
Yeah, and he's going for that hood, right, that you mentioned. And because of that hood, the Snapfire is strong.
Well, Pops gets out of it, still can one more right click, put it into the kill burst anyway.
And it's a solo kill, right? So he gets more X. It's great for him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a solo kill for Bloodseeker too.
So good on this Grimstroke. So now they have level 6 on Gabby. He's taken the Battle Trance, but now, yeah, Centaur. He needed a sidestep
there was an angle. There was an angle. I saw it.
Yeah, but Hook has like that
hard.
really big hitbox, and now Marvel's getting chased
Gabby has
on the
the
high
ult.
ground. Centaur. That'll stun up Marvel. They're trying to run. They bring Tim's top even, and they're really trying to get 4 heroes. So Pudge, dead or not, and he is dead, draws the attention of 4 heroes.
Like an ult.
And that is going to allow Excellent 3, who is walking into Ace, to go after Bach. Yeah, they've got the Rupture, but do they have the damage to get this kill? Fairy Fire, how long are you willing to chase on this?
Oh, by the way, they had the same exact combination of heroes in one of their games, the Lycan plus Grimstroke. They would pop the wolves, Inkswell the wolf, and send them on supports. And it's pretty damn strong.
I mean, the lineup here to give Pudge an opportunity to hook is certainly available. Inkswell pops, that's a free hook mode. Unless there's a wolf in front of you or a Centaur.
This Pudge is almost 6. Hishki as well, both of them on top lane. And Troll does have ulti available, so he probably doesn't feel too threatened.
But if he gets
stun
stun locked, hook or spike finger, I mean, on any of these supports, they're gonna die.
Yeah, that was one of those.
We didn't look. My eyes were closed.
I want
Radiant
to have
structures are
hook
fortified.
accuracy back in the game, like in Dota 1. You had like, you would write in HA, then it would count your hooks. Same went with Mirana, I believe it was AA for Mirana, arrow accuracy.
They have brought tiny up here. Like, this lane is just garnering so much attention. Hook hits, there's the dismember, they got the finger, they'll get the kill just like that. Oh, no, it's too late. He may have a haste. He goes for the avalanche, he's got the toss with a little shredder. Okay, you traded Gabby for Hishki. You want to know who's happy about that Lilgun?
This Pudge is happy. The Lion is also happy because he got his stacks.
Yeah, he got stacks.
Fine.
And now they're going to go Inkswell, Bach in trouble, Rupture again. This time they've got the Wolves blocking Bach, and they'll get the kill.
X123 is the micro player, I see it.
Tim's Scatter Blast, Boomy coming over, Fire Staff lands. They're also going to bring Gabby down bottom. They want this kill, and well, Gabby won't get it.
He was actually able to TP there. Obviously, he didn't believe in it himself as well, as he was so low. But if he just started TPing instantly after Fire Snap Cookie, I think he has enough now. They're paying him out. Hood is already completed on this Pudge. Minute
He's got 5
940.
stacks of left.
5 stacks, Hood, Bracer. He's a chonky boy. Hard to take down.
Yep. Magic resistance, getting that strength bonus on it. Marvel. He's going to be a problem. Who can...
He's going to be a problem if
through him.
He hits the hooks. If he doesn't, then yeah.
But couldn't he also just...
Dire's top
wait
tower
for
is
impales
under
and
attack.
whatnot?
Well, yeah, that too. But I'm also saying, like, couldn't he just be the sponge?
Yeah, you
Dire's
can,
structures
but
are
being a
fortified.
sponge usually can be ignored.
Like, series got the hook, knock low, he's dead, they get the kill, they look over, Inkswell pops, the Goblin's done onto the Tiny, and he is being the sponge. Tossed tossed up into the air. The sponge is sponged, and it's still sponging up all this damage. They've got the soul bind onto both Armel as well as Gabby. They hit the stun, the Earth Spike, and now Searing Chains, Avalanche toss, but Sanctity doesn't care. They finally get the kill on a Marvel. They look over at Hishki. They've slowed up full supports. Gabby trying to get the kill here with the help of Boomy, but the Earth Spike side of fist coming through on a 2. Now Gabby on the run, looking for something. Searing Chains comes in, and maybe they have some help here from the Snapfire. Hishki somehow gets into the trees, and there's a rupture on a Sanctity. That looks like it'll be 2 kills. DP not in time.
Very good
It
fight
ends
from
actually being
TNC.
3.
Yeah. Very good fight from TNC. It started off well for Lilgun, but they overextended. The Earth Spike was really nice from the line. It doesn't matter. TNC, they bring in the numbers. They actually respawn. Bok was dead at the beginning of that fight.
Yeah.
A little bit overextending there from Lilgun. They should also understand when it's time to count your blessings, move back.
They get this tower, yes. That fight's okay for Lilgun.
Radiant's bottom
And
tower has
Lycan,
fallen.
He has Echo,
he's
right?
taking
Radiant's middle
stacks.
tower is under
He
attack.
finished Echo Saber. This is the build. This is literally the build
There's
that
no
I've seen.
stacks to take. But now you have Finger on cooldown. Fire Snap QT, Scatter Blasting, Swell. Now Marvel's trying to be in the vicinity, and he'll be there. +1 Flesh Sheep. Now it's 7.
Feels good man
Yeah.
for this Pudge. 7 flash heaps. He actually went all the way in rot. Yeah, with the hood all the way in rot. Well, this is the build.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
One other thing about Pudge and why this hero, I believe, is in a good spot right now is you can build so many different builds and they're all valuable. Like Aetherland's Shard is good, Blink Shard is good, Aetherland's Ghost in some games is great, the Hood, Eternal Shroud is great, Blade Mail, Vessel. There's just so many little items that you can buy that actually work on him. It all comes down if you're a good Pudge player and you can hook or not, obviously.
Yeah. A lot of these hooks, I will say, they're kind of... But
He
still
started
hitting the
well.
hooks, and he did start well. He's
That's-
going Blade now.
That's really the most important
Radiant
part.
are
Do you start
scanning.
well in the lane? Later on, you can save targets.
That little jump off point. Yeah, with the shard, getting that save.
Just
Or
hook
even just hooks in
save,
general.
shard save. But if you have a good laning stage, later on, like mid-game, you're no longer just the ambulance, just the one that brings you back home.
Right.
You can actually be the sponge that you talked about. You can go in and be a menace.
Sponge be sponging.
Sponging, yep. Sponging,
Arcane boots on the Grimstroke. Tranquil's here for the Lion, and he's not massively close. But he's working towards a Blink Dagger, and he's got 900 gold.
There's a good smoke though coming. They also have Invisible on Tiny. Lycan.
Kill X1. They've got the Blink, Avalanche, Toss, Rupture, Use. And Mortimer's Kisses, so they want to throw everything that he should sink. Sanctity's here, Blood right down, throws a Remnant back, Stroke Fate comes in from Hayes. And they've got the Swell on the Wolf once again. This is probably going to cause Hayes to die. I say that, he's always able to find a way out of this. They've got the Finger, they'll get themselves one. Now a second, Bok ends up dead. They'll go after moving. They've got Marvel moving forward who has Hook in just a second. He's whining, and he doesn't hit it because the group's in front of him. But Sanctity, he's been spotted by Gabby. He'll get the Remnant the other way and try to find an escape. He can't put the damage out with the impetus. The Avalanche comes in. The damage on a Marvel might be too much. He looks over the Invis rune and won't be able to pick it up as Boomy does find that one. But Dom for the Enchantress.
A Lilgun, they're making some really good plays, and they're making some plays that aren't that great. DNC's smoke was on point, eliminating the Wolf instantly. But then Instro on that Invis Wolf is just so strong.
Yeah.
Because you kind of know it's there, but if there's a mess, if there's a big team fight happening, you don't really... You don't see when it's going
hard
to
to
explode.
recognize.
Yeah, it's hard to recognize just how much damage and stun control it's going to deal.
And
then the double Finger was there too. Just
which helped them get 2 kills. Like
Right.
Ace,
Scanning.
they're down 3k. So this game is starting to kind of fall.
sadly that hook was really not on point. Like, before we could meme it out a little bit with Pudge, but here if he hooks the Tiny, he hooks him away from his teammates. They kill the Tiny and maybe they can disengage.
Yeah.
That was not the greatest.
Not ideal. They're going for Maelstrom on Sanctity. He's got that Orbital Corrosion. He'll pick up the Javelin. And there's the Swell right on the Enchantress, the Dismember. It's all there. Another stack. Ace with a kill. Avalanche onto the Wolves.
You know who made that happen actually? Why they get such an easy kill? Because of the Lycan. Lycan sent the Wolves of Tiny and attacked him so that he cannot jump in and toss combo.
Right.
toss Emma combo. Like he was actually breaking his blink all the time. Really well played by all of them.
Tiny blinks in. Now they've got the silence. Rupture comes out. Mortimer's kisses. They've ruptured up the Pudge. Again, he's there to soak. Soulbind, Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains, all out with the Phantom's Embrace. The damage being done. They'll get the Phantom's Embrace off. They get the kill on a Marvel. He's down to about half health.
The hook
And now the Wolves again.
On point again, the Wolves.
Well, and Tim's. He's going to be stunned, but the catapult's kind of in the way on this hook. He hits the catapult.
Come on, Marvel.
It just
Subtle burn.
does that thing. It's the hitbox, man. Sanctity, silence, avalanche, Wingguard. Should be enough. Nothing's got the dismember. Run the Enchantress +1. Get another stack. They're looking for the hook. Oh, almost hits Tim's.
I feel bad for Marvel now. I've been in this situation. Some games you're a god on Pudge, some games you're a god at the beginning and then you just stop hitting anything. He didn't hit a hook in like
God, not God, not God. And you know, it depends on the hook you hit.
From a pleb to a god, from a god to a pleb. He hasn't hit a hook in like 5 minutes now.
I hit that hook in the jungle. The one that was set up with the spike.
The setup once, yeah.
And he's got Blade Mail.
Radiant
Things are starting to come together.
They're all ready to get it for him. Did you see that hook versus Mortimer's kick?
Her spike. Gabby. Is he going to be in trouble? They've got the Hex. Titan's coming over. He already used it. He the toss. Gabby just gets the battle trance off. Silence Marvel. He's in some trouble. Gabby and her spike lands. Man, oh man, Hishki. He's making things happen. They've got the Inkswell. They're slowing these heroes. The Roots are in. Tim's on the run. Trying to get out of this one. Scatter Blast. Inkswell. That pops. Tim's gone. Trying to fist on a Wolves are here. And on the other side of the fight, they get the kill on a bot, but they lose Hishki and Ace. X1, 2, 3 goes after Armel. Boomy killed off by Sanctity. Can they get the kill on Armel before he's able to TP out? No, they can't. But it ends up being a 4 for 3.
Perfect. Maybe Lycan could have been a little bit earlier to the fight. He was still farming around the jungle a bit. It is still really, really good for Lilgun.
Dire's turret has been killed.
They get the troll. If they hit him just a little bit earlier before he pops that ulti, this fight is just a disaster for TNC. But Troll at least manages to pop that ulti, which makes them trade a couple of kills.
Yeah.
Lilgun just
4-man Urst.
playing so well.
Oh my gosh.
And then the Inkswell with the Flame Guard was so good as well. Oh, there's the
Atos comes in, but another hook that's going to catch the Enchantress. They'll get the kill there. They'll end up getting hit. He's going to be Searing Chain. Soulbind coming in. Double themselves the fingers. Look, there's a Dismember. And they'll get the kill on a bot. Armel clearing up these heroes, and they'll take out Gabby. 4 heroes gone. They'll end up losing Ace. It was the Dismember. And the Searing Chains with the Phantom's Embrace, not the finger. And it's just all of a sudden, that 3K net worth lead that I was worried about that was getting out of control, it's gone.
You were making the joke earlier, but man, they're bringing some big guns to this game. Like they were, I don't know what was happening. They were hiding them under some boomer long sleeve business T-shirt before. Like this shirt, it's looking much better in this game. And I think also mentally maybe they're a little bit relaxed, right? And it's easier for them to play.
Yeah, you're playing Dreambreaker. That's a fun role to play. Whether or not you win or lose, it's always fun to play.
I know there's gonna be a lot of angry TNC fans out there flaming people, but right now I think we should just be praising Lilgun as they're playing really well.
They almost have AC. They're going Ags on the Ember, who needs 3,000. Key Remnants back into the side of TNC, but the Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains. The hook, the Earth Spike, still there. Freedom's trying to get the finger, and now they're killing him on Mel. Blade Mail hits Pop Gabby, thinking about, maybe I made a mistake. They've got the Hex, they have the silence to get the kill on a Boomy as well. 3 heroes dead, Lilgun.
And another one?
Into a machine gun that kills Hookstone. They've got the Inkswell. And they have just taken out TNC.
Who needs hooks?
Oh my god!
They just run in with Blade Mail. That troll's like, yeah, I'm about to own this spot. She goes in, hits him 3 times, and he's like, yeah, maybe not.
Blade Mail is a mistake to hit into.
He lost like 50% HP.
He has 16 stacks of Freshy.
2.5k HP.
At only level 2.
2.5k. You're not killing him, you're killing yourself. You need some Vlads or just Morbid Mask or something like that on TNC perhaps. Maybe a Snapfire or Justice can buy it. I know it's a very expensive item, you don't like it as much as before, but you need to be able to deal with this.
Give it a punch so we can get as many items as you want.
Yeah, he's not really right-clicking anyway.
He hits hard. 187.
True. But he's mostly dismembering, clicking.
Sleight of fist, Searing Chain, Ear Spikes, Stroke, and well, alright, Marvel. Marvel, the hooks, when the hooks don't hit, they get the kills.
He just wants the last hit on the Centaur, really. That's what it was, you know. He was aiming at that shit. And Gabby, man, this is too early to be hiding in the trees.
Oh, Marvel.
Yeah, he didn't have a TP there. It was on 30 seconds cooldown, so maybe if they approached him a little bit more carefully, they could have secured themselves a kill, but Gabby also fast enough, nimble enough to get out.
Marvel, after the BKB, maybe Rod of Atos, even more control.
No. Rod of Atos on Pudge, that's an insult.
It's cheating.
It's not cheating, it's like no Pudge player wants to buy a Rod of Atos. Right. If you're buying Rod of Atos, you're like, bro, come on, you know, just hit the hook. It literally takes the fun out of the hero. I don't think the way they're playing, the way they're enjoying themselves, Atos is not a build.
I need more player reactions if we've got some good ones. Because they're probably having such a good time right now.
Every hook connects.
Yeah.
The crowd goes wild.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Are scanning.
Now you may think you're just an inconsequential kill, but when the hooks hit, you become a +1 on the flesh heap stack. That'll happen, Nature's Attendants or not, you'll end up dead to haste, and they also catch themselves in. Fire Snap cooking, you still got.
Yep, Sanctity, he had the presence of mind to just ignore the Enchantress. Also feels a bit sad for the Enchantress. He gets hooked, Sanctity doesn't even look at her. He just goes straight forward, searching for a different kill, and gets rewarded by that kill on the Snapfire.
Radiant structures are fortified.
This is bad for TNC at the moment. Look at Gabby. He's forced to be farming behind the enemy lines. You literally can't show your face on the map at the moment.
No, you can't. Pudge trying to make a claim at having the highest win rate in this season 2, 100%.
Is this the first pick?
I think the first Pudge pick we've seen in this.
At least this region. The upper division.
Yeah, at least this region. For upper division, this engine we've been
usually like going into SNY afterwards. He has AC completed for a while now.
Roche. After a game of not taking Roche at all, feels good to take one.
The way TNC's itemizing right now is into these BKBs, right? Yeah, he's going for the BKB and he's thinking, okay, once Troll gets that, at least we can fight. But can you really? Because Pudge will also have the BKB.
Everybody
oh wait, he denied it? He denied the Aegis. He denied the Aegis. He probably sent the creep in and denied it, right? I was looking at the all the tips.
He denied the Aegis. I was saying, you know, you get this opportunity to finally get yourself Roche. Enchantress says, maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
I've seen this a couple of times before as well. Well played by Boomy. Really well played. Maybe I'm not sure what creep he sent in. Your replay.
Almost had the axe. 200 gold away on this Ember. Marvel has BKB being sent out as well. This tower going down fast. Very fast.
They're trying to split push a little bit. Gabby is on the bottom lane.
Dire's top tower
it's hard, fallen. Right? It's hard to
continue
split pushing when you don't see Pudge. If you see Pudge, you can. If you don't, maybe a hook is coming.
It might be.
Never refuse gold given.
Or a centaur.
Or a catapult.
Yeah, there's so many things. You know, we joke, but Marvel, you just casually almost 3,000 health.
He's doing amazingly well. With that Essence Ring, actually, he does go over 3,000 once popped.
And he's going Ags next. So looking for that increased rock radius.
It's actually pretty good versus some heroes like versus Morphling. You get that AoE reduction as well. Reduces health regen by 25%.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Okay, so the BKB is completed on Troll as well. But Lilgun, they can pressure them right now. They can even force the high ground because Pudge allows you to. You don't have to run in with the Lycan and hit the towers. You just kind of poke it, and if anyone shows you, hook him out.
Right.
That's how you play with Pudge when it comes to pushes. The same way you defend. You just hide behind the tier 4s and try to push.
Do you think maybe Marvel should be going for an Eternal Shroud? You said that item's real good on Pudge. Is it worth it
Maybe
at this
not
point?
this game. Maybe it's unnecessary this game.
Dire
Not a lot
are
to
scanning.
worry off. Hood is fine enough, and I think this Blade Mill was a perfect option. The BKB
Dire's
afterwards
bottom
was really
tower
good
is
too.
under attack.
And the shard really is the most valuable item you can get.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Being Ags
Dire's
shard
bottom
being
tower
picked up by
is
Pudge.
under
There goes from the
attack.
Ags.
And they're doing it. They're doing exactly that. You see Pudge waiting next to the cliff, trying to
Might
find
be the
an
better
angle.
angle, although he's got Armel TPing in over to the side. Marvel standing his ground. Avalanche slows the toss. That's going to put him into the base, but he's got to be KB. Now in Swell, thinking about it. Oh, that's going to get something in front of him once again. They'll figure out a 2v0. They'll go after this. Snapper, I think it's going to They will go over to Armel, who's in the trees. Boomy ends up dead. The Steelers gone. They're trying to chase. They've got the rupture. It's on Execration. Stop moving now. Battle transformed its member. You've been kited, my friend. Tossed up in the air. Marvel, he'll end up dead. But that's only just the punch.
Illusion.
He's a big
But it's changed again. Now looking for the two-maners. Might stroke a big Lunar Cave isn't going to be enough. Tires have to get Gabby away. They've got the silence onto the Ember, but they need to be careful. They're out of mana on this troll. They've got the Hex. These heroes are losing all their mana to Hishki. They get the kill to Armel. They'll take out Kims again. Godlike for Sanctity, a 7k lead.
I just can't believe how strong they are without the Pudge and without roll
Radiant
form.
structures
They still
are
continue fighting
fortified.
because why? Troll doesn't have
Dire's
ulti.
middle
None of them
tower
have
is
any
under
mana
attack.
to work with.
Dire's structures are fortified.
They're really good performance by Hishki. In the last game it was Ace with some sick Grimstroke plays. He's playing really well this time around too. But Lion is on point.
Yeah, they're both, the
His-
support duo is so strong right now.
His Earth Spikes.
3, 4, and 25 here for Hishki.
He has more assists than TNC has kills. By 5.
Oh my
A
god.
subtle burn. Love it.
Ember going BKB Gluttnir.
Some, okay, if Pudge doesn't want to build that Atos,
I'll do it. Gabby getting forward center. It's like this series change 50, and they've got the Hex one right down, but now they've got the Soulbot on the two of these heroes. Gabby, he's gone. He's got buyback, and well, you're going to lose Boomy too. Ace is dominating. He's 10-6 at 19. He's been involved in just 29 kills. He's got more than TNC as well.
This is a side. You need to force the buyback here, and even if you buy back, I don't think you want to buy back with Troll.
First kisses.
You have to, though.
Avalanche. There's the toss. Again, it's sending Marvel. He's got the BKB.
That's
And now
a
he's got
Marvel
the
lead.
shot. Yep. All right. Wolves taste good, and they're going to shoot him back out. They're going to rend it forward, and they've got themselves the root on the Ember, but I don't know if that's even going to be enough. The Fire Snap will just get knocked away. They look over. They'll kill off tomorrow now. He does end up dead, but Gabby, you're gone too. And he's got no buyback. 94 seconds. See you later. They're coming in, and they are just mowing them all down. Taking out all these heroes. Looking at Armel once again. The cannons are on fire. The Lilguns are here, and they are sniping you down. Marvel getting hit by his entire team as they lose the mid set of racks on TNC. They have no Armel, no Gabby for over a minute.
They're shocked. They're shocked. Like this is pretty much the situation in which you type GG, your one core that you have, this troll bot back, died back. He's not going to scale any longer after. You're just, look at Bok, he's like, Bok, running left, right. He's trying to figure out
What do
what's
I do?
happening. Yeah.
I'm watching 2 sets of racks go down to a punch.
Oh, that's 3. Like, they're doing both.
Thanks, guys.
You don't stop. I think they're just...
Stop jungling, let's push.
I don't know, they're...
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Letmir is online. The lockdown is there. The heals from Marvel. He's got that shard. Hooks or not, he's doing his thing. And, well, this is mega creeps and a mega upset here. Lilgun, Remnant in Searing Chains, Nature's Attendants. They can't attend to your wounds enough. They'll get the kill on a Boomy. They'll miss the hook on a Bot. Tim's getting back into the base. The Rupture's on a X1, 2, 3. Who just gets enough. Let me patch that up for you. And then spit you back out right for the Seer Core with full health.
Okay, Troll is back up. This is the last attempt for TNC, but...
It's the Alamo here for TNC, and they're trying to survive with the lockdown, the fingers, they come in, the Glyph here, the control, the kills, and the GG is all. Dream Killers, and they will upset TNC not 2-1, but 2-0. It is an absolutely brutal match for TNC and Lilgun. I mean, this is like winning in all this series at this point, and that must feel so good. I need an interview, not just with one person, but please with the entire team. Can we get Marvel on how...